Good morning, it's Audrey June. Today I'm actually going to do something a little different. I am going to use my Goddess Power Deck, and I'm going to ask specifically about the collective's chakras. Like, where are we right now? What message do we need to know as far as each of our chakras is concerned so that we can get back into alignment? So I'm going to start with the root chakra. And the root chakra is all about our foundations, our connection to the earth, our connection to our resources, and our environments, our physical space. So, what do we need to know about the root chakra? What message? All right, so we got Danu, right? So look at Danu. What do we notice about Danu? So she is card number 10. 10 is completion. I noticed first that we have this blue light, right? Blue is our chakra, our throat chakra. It also is Archangel Michael's light is blue. Sirius is blue. And she also has the symbol of the goddess at her third eye, right? So we see it right here. And out of her hands is coming a plant, right? And the plant is growing from her hands, right? Because our hands hold so much energy. And there is like an energy vortex of white light coming out from the plant, right? So it says assurance. And when I look at her, I see somebody who is very sure of what she's doing, right? So if we think of that as far as what the root chakra demonstrates, right? What it represents, it's like being assured that our needs will be taken care of, right? So let's see what the book has to say about number 10, which breaks down into 1, which is all about manifestation. Our thoughts create our reality. So the appearance of the Celtic earth goddess Danu, who gave birth to magic, portends the fulfillment of your desires and the fruition of your dreams. Whatever it is that you're inquiring about, Danu gives her assurance that you're in the process of becoming. Now is the time to trust that whatever you have planted, planned, and worked toward is being lovingly birthed. All you need to do is stay with the flow of events and be ready for your next opportunity. Everything has its perfect season. Just as fallow ground carries the promise of new life that appears again in the spring, as if magically bidden from the invisible to the visible, Danu offers her promise of grounded assurance, right? So the message from our root chakra is that everything is going to be taken care of, right? Just make sure that you are in alignment, that you are listening to your inner voice, and that you really recognize when the doors are being opened, right? So you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about all of these things. These things are of the world. And as long as you put your faith in the universe, you will get what is for you, right? The second one is asking about the sacral. So the sacral is the home of our emotions. It is our inner child. It is our primal sexuality. It is our creative aspect. It is, yeah. So the message from our sacral. What is the message from our sacral? So we have, what is our inner child, our innocence trying to tell us? How do we go back into the innocence of our heart and leave the feathers of this earth? All right, we got Mama Kocha, water, right? So this is a powerful card. We see a lot of green. We see the fish, and we see her, and she's sitting there holding the seashell, and she knows, right? 33, it's a master number. 33 is one of the most powerful of all the master numbers because it is the combined energy of 11 and 22, and it is one of the most powerful ones that we can see here, right? So the teal is just, it's, to me, it's like she knows, right? She is holding her emotions in her hand, right? So let's look and see what message our book has for us. So, the world we inhabit began from the oceanic waters of life and the waters that surrounded us in the womb, both of which are the domain of the Incan goddess Mama Cocha. We are most attuned to the qualities of water as the element of water symbolically represents our emotions. Our emotions move us to make and perceive the world as we know it. The beauty in this truth is found by observing water in all her properties and forms. Water is fluid and passes through cracks and flaws in the ground without stress, moving around obstacles and patiently wearing away the most jagged rocks until they are smooth and gleaming, right? So our emotions are here to really show us to go in with the flow, right? They're adaptable, they're change, right? So feel through your emotions. Go deep within yourself and look at what it is that has been holding you back. Water ebbs and flows, comes and goes in a powerful rhythmic motion as the seas and oceans reveal their promise of release and return. Water rises up from the ground and seeds the clouds and then rains upon the earth to ensure growth and sustain life. Water turns to hard ice and blankets the world in a protective shell, even of soft snow, allowing the dormancy of life to herald a time of dreaming. Then the ice melts and cycles begin again, right? So emotions, our inner child, all of these things is like our foundation, and it starts off our own relationship with our emotions, right? In our childhood, we learn how to feel, and we learn whether emotions are validating or whether we are supposed to hold them back. And for those of us who have come from backgrounds that tell us to hold that stuff in, now is the time to stop doing that. That is the greatest sin of humanity, is to quell your inner life, right? The answer to your question lies in determining what form of water reveals the conditions of your life, and then recognizing the next evolution of your life's potential. So which form of water do you relate to most? What is that a metaphor for? What is this symbol? I want you to journal on this, right? So is it ice? Is it free flowing water? Is it the rain? Is it the groundwater? Is it a river? Is it a lake? Really think about what resonates most with you. If you are in an ebb, you can expect a flow. If things are temporarily frozen, soon they will melt. If it seems that your world is too wet and temporary shelter is needed, you can expect new growth and sunny days again. Mama Kosha reminds you that the waters of your life are perfect as they are now, and just as perfect in the way that they will evolve. Unlimited potential is revealed when this goddess comes to visit, right? So really, like, think about your relationship with your inner child. What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel like you have to protect yourself? Really, really consider that. Think about what it is and journal on it, write it out, draw it, do what you need to do, but really think about which form of water is representative of your inner child, right? So now we're looking at number 3, right, which is the solar plexus. So spirit. What does the collective need to know about our willpower? What goddess speaks to that? And what messages do we have as far as how to really live our life in our authenticity, right? Make the choices that we know we need to make. What does that look like? Which goddess is speaking to us? So I got Epona, wise leadership, number 14, right? So Epona is a warrior. You can see it. And in her hand, she has the heart. She has a green heart, and she is looking off in the distance with her war paint. 1 + 4 is 5. It comes back down to the shaman, the Hierophant, and she is surrounded by golden light, right? She is surrounded by the earth. So what is it that Epona is trying to tell us? Stepping into the world with a sense of surety and positive self-worth is what's called for now. Epona, the Celtic Roman horse goddess of leadership and guidance, offers you her wisdom. Know that you have what it takes to heed it. You can do anything you place your attention on. You'll find it easy to accomplish what's needed for your intentions to take form. Whether you're aware of this or not, the way you manage your accomplishments and even the way you handle failures and losses is modeling the way forward for others, right? At this moment, as light workers, we are the leaders of this transformation, this revolution. So we need to speak and we need to act from our heart. We need to do what we know is right. Whether being true to who you are and placing integrity and humility equal to enthusiasm makes you the wise leader, one that the goddess Epona is proud of, right? So really this message, the solar plexus is saying, walk in your power. Do what you know is right. Never ever dim your light for anybody. So now we're on number 4. Number 4 is our heart chakra, right? How we create our relationship with ourselves, how we create our relationship with others. That is the heart, right? So what is our heart trying to tell us? How do we step into our heart space? How do we maintain our integrity? Okay. So, we got the great goddess, sacred unity, right? Looking in on this card, what do we notice? This is unity consciousness, right? This is the light that exists within all of us. If you look closely at this card, you see a form that almost looks like a pregnant woman. And you see the rainbow of light coming out, the rainbow being the promise that we are in that space, that sacred unity. So let's see what the message is from our book. And interestingly enough, all of these cards are coming out. They're all coming out upright, right? So we're in alignment. So number 17, the power of 1 + 7 is 8 is balance. Now is the time to view your world through a reverent, clear lens of unity and connection. The domain of the great goddess, the creatrix of all life and the great mother of all. It's time to leave the right and wrong, duality, good, bad, zero-sum game world behind. We are moving beyond that. That is wrong. That is unnatural, right? That is what's getting in the way of our heart. Shame, feeling like we did something wrong, holding on to our past. Enter the space where you can find the sacred ground of sharing. Without guile, work from the desire that everyone benefits, right? Abundance. We don't need to fight each other. We are all the same. Look at others as if they are a reflection of yourself. Take a humble yet grounded approach to your life right now. Be accountable for the energy you put out into the world and be aware of how you influence your surroundings. The great goddess reminds you that you may see yourself as different than others, but we are all one. In our own presence, we are all the same. The earth, the people, everything. We are all made of the same light, the same stardust. We are all the same God flesh. Treat others as you would be treated and miracles abound, right? So stop worrying, stop doubting, deprogram yourself. Your heart is free. Your heart is love. Your heart is innocence. So let it out. This is truly an auspicious time, right? So this is telling us that we are all one, unity consciousness. So speak freely, walk truly. The heart, Any sort of issues you are having can easily be cleared up through clear communication from the space of the heart. True unconditional love, right? So now we are going and we are looking into the 5th chakra, which is our throat chakra, right? So now we're in the throat chakra space. So, Spirit, what is the message from our throat? What do we need to speak out? How do we need to speak, right? In this moment in time of unity consciousness, of clear transformation. All right, throat chakra. What is the message from our throat chakra? All right. So we've got Lizy. Lizy is revelation, right? So look at Lizy. What is she telling us? It's 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. Again, I love 11, right? Master teacher number 11 is all about leading others and being able to hold the space, be a portal between worlds. She's the goddess of lightning, right? We can see she holds the lightning in her hands. The lightning is pure inspiration. So, speaking out our revelations and our clarity, that is what Lizy is reminding us to do. So, I will look into this, right? And my ant friends, as per usual, are right around me. So, I will respect them and they will respect me. So there are moments when synchronicity brings all the elements together for a flash of insight to rise up in you in a glorious epiphany. It's as if you are able to simultaneously perceive every facet in a diamond. You know without a doubt that you are on the right track as deep understanding sinks into your very soul. In this moment, change and transformation takes place, and a transcendent moment is offered to you as an extraordinary gift. Now is one of those times. The Chinese goddess Lizy, mother of lightning, brings revelations into your life with a flash. She gifts you as a result of all the hard work you have put into dismantling your old self and making space for who you want to become. So Lizy is telling us that we need to speak our change into the world. We need to make sure that the people, the things around us understand that we are not the same people. That energy from the past is old, it's done, it's gone. We are new. And we need to speak that newness, that new perspective, that new clarity, these revelations, these synchronicities. We need to speak them out into that universe. The more we speak, the more we receive. The more truth we speak, the more authentic we get to live and believe. You can't, what they say, closed mouths don't get fed. You can't transform the way that people perceive you unless you speak out that new you, right? So that's what our throat chakra is telling us today. So now we are on to number 6, and I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birds, right? 5, again, the throat chakra, it's confirmation. So we need to be able to speak our new heights into the world. Now we're on to the third eye, right? So our intuitive seat of power, this is our connection, our intuition. This is our vision into the other world, right? Not just this world. We are in a moment. It's bridging. That unity consciousness is coming out. The world is becoming more sacred. So how do we follow our own intuition? What is our message from our intuition? Right? That is what is asking us. So it's 5. That was 4. Whoa. Well, give me 1 second, because those ramp. Yeah. Okay. That was unexpected, right? But that's how the universe works sometimes. Okay, so we got 3 cards here. 2 of which are upside down, 1 of which is not. So we're gonna start with Benze Jen, beauty, right? So she is card number 6. Number 6 is all about community, partnership, our shared energy with the others, right? And I see her here. I notice the wings in the background. I notice there is blue at her eyes, right? That blue, again, is that healing energy. And there's a lot of red, so there's a lot of passion here. So let's see what our empowerment message is for this particular card, right? Where did I put that? Oh no. All right. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties. So let's see. What is our empowerment message here? So we have that was 3 cards, y'all. 3, the Empress. We're still in that Empress energy. So it says, you are at your most lovely when you are being yourself. The Japanese goddess of beauty, Benzei 10, reminds you that knowing, accepting, and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body requires self-care. Now is the time to support yourself by surrounding yourself with beauty and choosing to see its power in every aspect of your life. If you can commit to doing that, you will be amazed at how much more beauty arises to greet you. Open your eyes to the wonders everywhere. Even the most unexpected places, beauty waits to be discovered. Consider this before you turn away from a person, place, or thing. Beauty is everywhere. It's your time to find it, and the goddess Benzei 10 will help you, right? So if we think about that as far as our third eye is concerned, don't prejudge your situation, the places you're in. Just kind of ground yourself and remember that it's more like than what you think it's going to be, right? So now we have Kuan Yin, compassion, card number 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 is the end of a cycle. It's the hermit. It is solitude, right? So making sure that you give yourself enough time to yourself, and this being in the alignment, compassion in the alignment, to me is saying that you need to remember to be compassionate to yourself. So let's see what our message is from Kuan Yin. Are you feeling overwhelmed by all the suffering in the world and can't imagine how you can make a difference? Do you feel hopeless over how we treat nature and each other? The goddess Kuan Yin knows that it is an important time of reckoning and reordering, but wants you to be careful not to fall into a pit of despair, right? So I don't even have to read all of this. This is literally just reminding you not to be overwhelmed by this epidemic, by this, the fear consciousness, by the matrix, by the propaganda that's trying to get you out of your energy, right? So when we are in a fear mentality, we are not able to perceive with our third eye clearly. So this is just a reminder, don't feed into the negativity, right? And then we have 49, co-creation, the spider woman, right? We've had her before. We know that the spider is the ultimate of animal totem as far as creating our reality through our dreams. And she is a symbol of divine femininity, right? So 4 plus 9, again, is 11. So owning that bridge between worlds, right? So let's see what our alignment message is for this. 49. You must be accountable for your creations, especially when you discover they are not truly reflective of your authentic desires or reveal they belong to only your ego. It's not enough to turn your back and hope they'll go away. If you have hurt someone else, you must repair the break. If you have manifested something you're not prepared to commit to, be humble and release it. The form is rarely the same as you imagined, and you can always begin again by calling on Spider-Woman's power of wisdom and co-creation for help. Sometimes you might get caught up in the strands of the web itself, only following the one you think is sparkly and matches your wants. This fosters the illusion of separation. Spider-Woman offers you the alignment task of recalibrating your position. With her help, you can move out of seeing separation everywhere to seeing the truth that all life is interconnected and sacred, right? So stop thinking about how what you're doing, like your intuition is not about your ego, right? It is our connection to that unity consciousness. And it's really, this card is telling us to really hold ourselves accountable, right? It's saying be accountable for the relationships that you've created and the ways that you've hurt yourself and you've hurt people. The only way to truly follow intuition and activate your third eye is to be radically honest with yourself and to take responsibility for the negative energy that you've created, right? Like, be true. What is it that you really want? And feel it in your body, right? Feel it in your third eye. Take that time out for reflection. All right, the last card that we're going to pull for today is our crown chakra, right? Our crown is our connection to the divine. It is our direct portal. It is our universal wisdom. It is our past lives. It is our connection to the stars, to the star ancestors. It is our seat of power and divinity. That one jumped out. So we have Morrigan, death and magic. 3 plus 8 is 11 once again. This card is a little dark right now, right? So I see her. She has a swirling vortex of energy within her hands, right? And when we think about death, we think about transformation, right? So to me, it's being held accountable to the transformation that's going on in this world right now and kind of reconnecting to our unity consciousness and our perception that it is not all negative, right? So she came out kind of in between. So I am going to read both messages. All right, so 38. Consider your life a magical gift and your experience of it a beautiful opportunity to leave the world a better place. You give that gift back when death comes and ends your time on this plane. Experiences, relationships, projects, even long-cherished dreams are all subject to the natural laws of death and magic of the Celtic goddess Morrigan. Now is the time for you to let certain parts of your life die and recognize, right? We got to recognize this process as something to celebrate as well as to mourn, right? In New Orleans, you got the second line. You dancing in the streets when somebody dies is celebration. For in death, there is great magic, as nothing can ever be truly destroyed, right? We are all energy. It all comes back. From the ashes of the old, a new life and new dreams will come to be. Face this time of dying and death with love and courage. Be willing to be empty. Soon the goddess Morrigan will fill you up with magic and a new world will be born for you. We are in a new world. We are creating through the ashes. We are the phoenix in our country, in this world. Gaia is rising. We know these things. So magic is everywhere and in all aspects of life, including death, dying, decay, and what is dark and hidden deep within our very natures. Yet in modern culture, we spend so much time in denial, concocting ways to avoid death, refusing to allow nature to be true, right? It's a cycle. We must die. We've lost so much wisdom as a result, right? You run from death, you run from self, you run from change. That is the culture that we're living in right now. We can't be running from this change anymore. You're being invited to address the areas in your life that no longer serve and that need to die without a promise of what will take its place, right? It's uncertainty. We're in a moment of uncertainty. Think about this pandemic, right? Think about it as a renewing spring of life. The earth is trying to reclaim her power back, and there are people who have chosen to leave this world behind. Do you need to walk away from something, a way of behaving or thinking? Like the caterpillar who has no idea how to be a butterfly, you must surrender to the process of metamorphosis. You must make room for the miracle while at the same time not demanding certainty. Morgan offers you the alignment sauce of self-inquiry. What death are you resisting? What darkness do you need to bring to your own awareness? How has fear ruled your choices? How could you be if you had the courage to look at life from a different angle? Your magic is stronger than you think. You can do it. Your dreams depend on it, right? So that was a powerful reading for the collective, to be honest, right? We had a lot of messages coming through, and everything kind of comes back to this need to accept this moment and change. It is our job to build the new world according to alignment, right? We are reclaiming the past. All right, much love, much peace. Have a lovely day, and may you align yourself to your true nature.